Okay, hi, I'm Dan Torop from Brooklyn, New York. So there's this guy named Mark Twain, and very famous 19th century writer. And so I was reading, have AV, AIDS, I was reading Roughing It, which is an amazing, I guess, sort of lesser known Twain book. At one point in the book, there's this amazing passage where he is taking a stagecoach across western Utah, and he goes across the Alkali Desert, which I didn't even know what Alkali Desert meant, but basically means like not the romantic Sahara style desert, but just like scrub grass and like, and he talks about how much he hates this desert, how, it was dry, dusty, the trip was slow, insanely hot, just super miserable, and it's this amazing passage because, it doesn't really read like the way I think of the America or the American West. Just seemed so intense, and so I was like, I want to find this place and see if it actually exists. And it's still there, there's still like a dirt road leading through it, which is the old stagecoach route. I made work there, and then of course the project diverted deeply, just as I guess the main road diverted from the stagecoach. And the evil twin of Mark Twain is Horace Greeley, who wrote a book called An Overland Journey. And basically Mark Twain's making fun of Greeley in a lot of the book. And it's interesting to read Greeley because Greeley takes the exact same route, totally glosses over the Alkali Desert. To him, utterly boring. But Twain, being brilliant, manages to make this incredible passage out of it. And I think Greeley was probably closer to the truth, that it is sort of not a notable section of the journey, even though the argument goes that this passage in Roughing It is one of the first great pieces of American nature writing about the Western Desert. It should be up there with Edward Abbey or something like that. So. I may have done something terrible, but a couple days ago I started calling this Overland Journey instead of Alkali Desert, because I was like, maybe I'm more in Greeley's camp than Mark Twain's camp, but that's another story, maybe. So, yeah, in 2011 I was out there and went through a ridiculous amount of film, like 130 some rolls, and actually all these boxes here, which are the work prints from then, and I edited those down to actually have somewhere here about 12 pictures or so. And then was back in 2012 and made more pictures, and then, so in a way this project is Alkali Desert, but then the goal seemed to be to synthesize the 2011 work, which I haven't done yet, but the 2012 work, and synthesize it with the Twain narrative. Because it's just showing up at this place, which was described in 1859 by Greeley and 1861 by Twain, and also Richard Burden was out there too, the Victorian explorer Burden. The original idea was to put Mark Twain's words to the pictures. Working on the editors, I was like putting up all the pictures that seemed to be sort of Alkali Desert-ish. And then I had all these other things which seemed contemporary, and I was like, what do I do with these? And I was like, oh, maybe they connect with each other. Maybe there's some like structural thing in the image, or objects in the image which will lead from one to the other. And maybe I think that also comes from a little bit from being here, where people seem to be sometimes doing topical things, and I'm like, maybe that's okay, maybe that's good, I think listening to people is helping, and maybe it's peer pressure, maybe it's like everyone else is dealing with the contemporary world, maybe I should. No, but no, I think it depends. One of the good things about being here is that, it's a community of people making work. I think it's just really good to jump communities and try to understand life in other communities, and you start understanding like the stupidities of your own community by doing that.